Nobody matters like you. 'Cause baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Whoa, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Whoa.
Hi, how are you?
Flo Olavarria, how you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are
Well,
you?
happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed.
I know, thanks for joining. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Very excited to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining. We're very excited because, we're in South Florida, at least for now. By the time this airs, we're going to be in Nashville, but we're in South Florida for now.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. Great. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to get to that then. Great. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, like super excited because anytime there's a good South Floridian talent, like there's good talent that's come from South Florida. Marilyn Manson's from Fort Lauderdale. Dashboard Confessionals from Boca Raton, Ariana Grande's from Boca Raton. And I feel like you're like the next big South Florida raised talent, Flo.
Thank you.
In that rich lineage. So we're excited to have you representing us wherever you go, Nashville and the world, representing the 305 forever.
Always.
I love it, Flo. So yeah, I mean, obviously, look, everyone's in love with you. RollingStone magazine, everyone's raving about you. Such great talent. Your newest single, Talking to Myself, is just fantastic.
Thank you.
And I think we can all relate, honestly. Absolutely. And you have such a passionate fan base as well, Flo. So we want to touch on all this, but yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really excited.
Love it. And you have a great guitar with you, so maybe we'll
Oh.
get lucky and have a song later.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, awesome, Flo. But yeah, well, listen, let's start with this. Obviously, let's start with the most pressing question. How is Maximo, your new dog?
He's very naughty.
Is he?
He's quite naughty, but he's really good. He's a fluff ball. Doesn't let me sleep a lot. But today's his first day at the studio, so he's behaving.
Okay, so he's in the studio. He's like a good producer, a good engineer, just kind of
Oh,
keeping his head down.
Absolutely. I'm really it's really important for me that he becomes a studio dog and he just loves being in the studio because I'm constantly creating songs.
Yeah.
And I love dogs and I just want him to be with me all the time.
You know what? They will, though. They will. I gotta tell you, like I have a Yorkie, and he's not with me today, but sometimes he's here when I'm recording, and he knows that that we're doing our thing, and
Yeah.
they need to chill and they learn. So
Yeah.
awesome, Flo. So listen, 2020 is over basically. How has it been for you? How do you think you're gonna look back on it? In 5 years down the road or whatever.
It's been crazy. I think that's the first way I would describe it. Pretty crazy, but I think it's also been a really good time to reflect.
Yeah.
And really become aware of a lot of different things, and really organize your priorities too. I
Yeah.
think for a lot of us, it's really highlighted how important family is and how sometimes we can take them for granted,
Mm-hmm.
and it just taught me to value them even more. Like, my family is the most important thing to me in my life. But after all this, it's like, yeah, they're really the most important thing ever, And I think it was also a time to reflect for me personally, and where I really got to grow as a writer, as a singer, and, as a person, try to get better through adversity and make the most of it if you can. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm aware there's a lot of people that haven't been able to do that, but for me, it's been a time to grow and just be a better person, I guess.
And you've done that. You've done that. I think that you have not let the pandemic define you. You've defined yourself in this
Yeah.
time. Like, I think that the way that you've expanded your reach with your fans during
Mhm.
this time is something that is going to serve you for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
All the performance. You've built such a passionate, close-knit relationship with your fan base that you really did something special there, and that's going with you forever.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Flo. So you mentioned family, how important it is to you. Let's touch base on that a little bit because that's going to be part of you forever. You were born in Chile. You moved to Canada and back and forth a few times, but that's a really cool, interesting mix, right? Tell us a little bit about, the cultures and how they've defined you.
Okay, so I was born in Chile,
Yeah.
And then I moved to Canada, then back to Chile, and then I actually moved to Singapore.
Wow. There you go.
No, really crazy. But I lived in Singapore for like 7 years, I think.
Wow.
And then, or 6, and then I came to Miami. And Miami's the love of my life, just so we're clear. I love
Gotcha.
Miami. But clearly it's a lot of different cultures and different people and traditions that I've been exposed to. And I love it. It's been so beautiful to grow up with such an open mind and just with so much love, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been really beautiful. And it's been really fantastic when it comes to my writing because it's provided so much inspiration and so many different kinds of inspiration. So it's just really lovely. I'm really lucky to have grown up traveling, the world and being exposed to all these different cultures and music and art and everything.
Definitely. There's a lot to unwrap there. So, okay, like
Yeah.
that was a great answer, super loaded. So let me start with Singapore for a second. You performed for the Prime Minister or the President of Singapore, right?
Yes, I
Nice.
performed for the president of Singapore.
That's amazing. Were you like a nervous wreck?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I was super nervous. And before, like a few years ago, I used to get really nervous, for any performance.
Right.
And so when that one came around, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it was pretty crazy. But
I know.
like most of the times, once you get on stage and after you sing that first note, it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I've practiced this like 100 times. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, we have people here, like we've had Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, John Oates, Mary Wilson. They say they still get nervous. So it's just something that you like kind of learn how to dance with as your career evolves.
exactly. And it's what keeps it exciting, I mean, it's the
Yeah.
magic of it.
Absolutely, Flo. So before you get on stage, like you played the Mockingbird Theater a few weeks ago in Nashville,
Yeah.
which was really great. We saw some videos online, really beautiful stuff. How do you get in state? Like, what's your incantation when you're okay, 10 minutes to showtime, and you're getting ready in state? What's your ritual there?
So I will have warmed up my voice beforehand, like 30 minutes or an hour before the show. Then when I'm backstage and after, my makeup's done, my hair's done, I just put in some headphones and I play some Shakira, some Ricky Martin, something that really hypes me up, And most of the times it's Latin music, because whatever's gonna really hype me up.
Yeah, because motion equals emotion. I got you.
Exactly. No, and I dance Zumba. So once I listen to the songs that I dance at Zumba, well, before the pandemic, now I do all my Zumba online, but it's just like it gets my head and my whole body and like, oh, we're dancing now. Like, okay, it's go time. So
Amazing.
I have a pre-show ritual playlist on my Spotify that I listen to and
Nice.
all kinds of stuff.
Nice. And probably, no one touch Flo when you're getting on stage. She's in state. Everyone move. I love it. I can see it. I can see it happening. Okay, Flo. So you moved to all these places, but when did you realize like, damn, I know you started playing when you were young, but like, when was the first time that you realized with your parents, like, man, I don't suck. Like I could do this for a living.
Okay, so I think the first time I realized I could, sing well was when I was 8 and I was at the school choir. That's when I first started singing properly.
Were you in Chile here or Canada?
In Chile.
Or in Mars, or where were you at this point?
In Chile.
Okay.
And so, that was my first introduction into actually singing properly, music sheets and everything, And then one day the professor goes, Flo, you've been selected to sing the solo. And I'm like, why?
Yeah. Right.
Because in my head, it's just like we were all singing because singing is awesome, And so then I practiced and I did the solo. And that's when I realized, whoa, this is really fun. And once I realized how much I loved singing, I kind of combined it with my piano playing abilities. And then I joined those two. And that was like the dynamic duo for me. I was like, this is it. And luckily for me, my parents are in love with music, like
love it.
So in love. And they never made me feel silly or like it was not realistic for me to want to be a singer. You know what I'm saying? Which is
absolutely
common for a lot of people, unfortunately. But my parents were just like, you want to be a singer? You're going to have to work your booty off, but you can do it.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Great. Great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great to hear. 'Cause, yeah, a lot of times it's like it comes from like the culture and the beliefs, the
Yeah.
value systems that you were raised with that blocks people from their potential. You realize how many people are walking around and they're probably just not, unfortunately, fulfilling
Yeah.
their purpose because of stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I think about that all the time and like how lucky I am to
Yeah.
have actually found what I was born to do.
That's exciting. That's fantastic, Flo. That's great to hear. So you talked about your songwriting. I do want to ask about your songwriting process because your songs are they're really like they're really deep. They're really layered. It's like almost the more you listen to them, the more you find new angles. They're
Yeah.
very specially song like written. So I wanted to ask you, when you're gonna write a song, Flo, when Flo Olavarria says I'm gonna write a song, do you kind of like tell your parents, tell your manager, okay, guys, I'm 9 to 5, don't bother me, I'm locking myself in the studio, or is it kind of like when inspiration strikes you?
It's kind of both, you know? So I think the most beautiful songwriting happens like literally in the middle of the night where you're about to go to bed and all of a sudden you come up with this lyric and this melody, you're just like, okay, I'm not sleeping tonight, we're gonna go write it, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, like I make it not a rule, but I'm just very disciplined and I, make myself, even if it's for 30 minutes a day, just write, because that's how you get that ability to just, when you get that inspiration, to make the most of it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely both, where it's like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go on right now, even if I don't want to, it's like working out. Sometimes you just gotta push through it so that you have that strength and you have that like super polished.
Yeah.
But I always want to write. I love writing.
Yeah, I love that you said that because we had a comedian here, a famous comedian, and she said the same thing. Like every day, Jamie, I gotta take my yellow notepad and I gotta write something, even if it's like going to the gym. Exactly like you said, it's like a
Yeah.
discipline. That's great. And Flo, do you ever get like self-conscious? Because I remember once in college, I took a creative writing course and they asked us to write like a poem. And I was trying to be all deep and stuff like about this like childhood trauma. And it was like I got so self-conscious. I'm like, this is terrible. It was such a terrible. Do you ever like, okay, do you write these papers and you're like, man, like, are people gonna like this? Do you go to your parents, to your family? Like, does this happen at all?
I think definitely at first I got a little self-conscious. I think that happens to everyone where you're writing, and even sometimes today I like can find myself thinking like, oh my God, what are people going to think about this? But then you have to like have the strength to physically stop yourself, because if you go down that road, you're not writing for you anymore. You're writing for other people. And when you're not writing for you, it's not real. It's not honest. It's not from the heart. And at the end of the day, what's from the heart, like ironically, that's what's going to connect with people, and that's what
Oh my
people are going to love.
Oh my God, that's so. I gotta. You're so wise beyond your. You're so inspiring. I got to tell you, I feel like I'm talking to Oprah Winfrey, to Tony Robbins. Like I'm ready to go, girl. Like where are we going? Like I'm excited. I'm inspired. I can do anything, Mom. I love it. It's great.
Thank you.
No, that's so great. You're such a great role model for all your fans. That's great. So you mentioned something about Nashville.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because let me tell you this. Like we are moving our show to Nashville soon.
Really? When? That's
Yes,
so exciting. I love
yeah, in like a couple of weeks, our show is growing a lot, and
uh-huh.
so we joined a big publisher podcast group there, and but this is exciting. So like tell you our adventure.
Okay, so Nashville.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of, whenever people ask me like, Flo, what genre are you? I'm like, whatever you think I am, okay? Because the thing is, coming from so many different backgrounds, listening to so many different kinds of music, pop, country,
Yeah.
Latin music. I even listen to
Important,
rock,
yeah.
honestly. I listen to classical music. I listen to everything. So when
Mhm.
people say, what what genre are you? I'm like, I'm Flo. Okay?
Amazing,
If you like me, you like me. If you don't,
amazing.
that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think where the two categories I fall under would be like pop country. And
Hmm.
Nashville obviously is like the heart of country. And
Right.
it's the heart of songwriting for me too, which
True.
is what I love about it and why I go frequently to write and perform. I just love the vibe there. It's such a beautiful city and such a beautiful community.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Obviously, well, that's exciting. So when you start winning country music awards and Americana Fest, we'll see you again at the press room, and we'll be like, "Hello again, Flo."
Oh, Perfect.
What do
I
you think
love
about your awards today? It's good seeing you again. Now that you won 5 trophies, how did it feel this time? Manifestation, girl. Manifestation. It's gonna happen.
manifestation. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, you've been so generous with your time and you're going to play a song for us, but I do want to ask you a little bit about your 2021 plans, Flo. What can you tell us? What do you have in the cards that you can share? Give us a little nugget.
Okay. Definitely new music.
Okay.
New music. I got a
Okay.
couple songs ready to go right off the bat in
Yes.
2021. So stay
Perfect.
tuned. Definitely that. Maybe a video. We'll see.
Okay.
Definitely a lot of writing as always. I'm always writing.
Yeah,
And hopefully more shows. As long as it's
absolutely.
safe and we do it the right way.
Yeah. I think things are looking up towards the second half of the year, honestly,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Knock on wood, it keeps trending that way. Awesome, Flo. Well, listen, awesome. What song are you going to play for us?
So this song hasn't been released yet. I haven't even recorded it yet.
It's a
But
world premiere.
it is a world premiere.
Oh
It
my
is
God.
one of
Honored.
my songs that I've written, and I actually wrote it in Spanish first. At this point, I don't actually remember what the lyrics were in Spanish when I first wrote it, but I wrote it in Spanish first. And it's called Homesick, and it is about lost love.
Love it.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. We ran out there in the free air, and the biggest problem of our day was getting home by dark. You gotta come see by the willow tree. This is where it began, so I'll take you back to the start. And so he said hello. I said, what's up? I'm Flo. And he said, my home's over there. Was it yesterday or another life in a world where there were no cares? On the porcelain bay, we first held hands and we found our love on the stairs. In the summer breeze, we talked about our dreams, and we promised each other that we never fall apart. But it's a big world, there's so much I don't know. Said I'll be back before you know it, so no matter what, don't lose heart. And so he said, don't go. I said, I've got to know what the world has in store for me out there. Was it yesterday or another life in a world where there were no cares? On the porcelain bay, we first held hands and we found our love on the stairs. Yeah, we found our love on the stairs. He moved away, and I moved on. So many summers, and now they're gone. He moved away, guess he moved on. Came to my senses, and here we are. Was it yesterday or another life in a world where there were no cares? On a porch swing where we first held hands and we found our love on the stairs. Was it yesterday or another life in a world where there were no cares? On a porcelain bay, we first held hands and we found our love on the stairs. Yeah, we found our love on the stairs. We found our love on the stairs. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Flo, you look, obviously your voice is amazing, but the lyrics, Flo, you're a storyteller. You're a
I
poet.
love telling stories.
That like you take the listener there. Like we felt the whole thing. We were there. Unbelievable, Flo. What a
Thank you
story.
so
What a
much.
songwriter. That's a hit single, by the way. 100%. That's a hit single. People will love it. Loved having you on the show, Flo.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And you know what? We know where you're going, and we can't wait to see you go there.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've had so much fun. It was so lovely to talk to you.
Definitely. Thank you, Flo. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry
All
Christmas.
right. Take care.